talk a little bit about video games. We're talking a little bit about the food you eat when you're playing video games. We're also going to talk a little bit about moderation, something that a lot of the other people that was on the stage earlier not too good at. I was speaking with the big football player guy. What's his name? Yeah, that dude can eat. My God. But I will tell you, I have done something that man has not done. If you're familiar with a little town called Amarillo, Texas, if you're familiar with the Big Texan, I ate that steak. I ate the whole thing. And let me tell you something, that was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. I couldn't do it today, but I definitely did it then. 1996, go look me up. I think my comment was, like they asked me for a comment on the board, and my comment was, oh God, kill me. Yeah, what's up, man?
Not much, good brother. I mean, you know, I've been following you, of course, your whole entire journey, all your great, epic videos. I love you, bro. I mean, that's why you're sitting right next to me today.
Oh, absolutely. I told him last night, he's like, hey, man, come do this thing I'm doing. I didn't ask questions. I don't give a damn. Whatever this man tells me to do, I'm going to do. He's like, hey, come do the stream with me. All right, we're doing Rockstar, I guess. I don't know. Yes. Hey, you want to come to a convention? Sure. You're asking me. If he said, you want to jump off a bridge, I'd ask which bridge. Or do I meet you? What time, dude? So thank you for this, man. But I will tell you this, and this is something I want you guys to think about. And so some of you, I mean, paid some good money to be here. Now, let me tell you something. This man right here had a dream. This man right here had a vision. And I'm here today to help make that happen. And you're here today making it happen. You're the one making it happen right here, right now. You literally made a person's dream actually come true. You've done that today.
Round of applause, everybody.
I mean, not everybody gets to do that, but you did, and that's awesome.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Now, Boo, listen, I know you love video games. I don't know if everybody in the audience understands. Not only is he a mastermind when it comes to YouTube and that sit-down comedy, but he has that mean Twitch channel. Now, how many are familiar with Twitch gaming? Yeah. And anybody? And Twitch gaming? Okay, Twitch streamers? Okay. Boogie, can you please break down what got you into gaming, your passion, your love for gaming, and what got you on Twitch doing so?
Well, when I was a kid, like a little kid, I was allergic to everything that exists outside. Pollen, trees, tree sap, tree dinner, animal dander, dust, everything that exists outside. And I would go outside and play. The problem was I would get pneumonia over and over and over again. I was hospitalized, I think it was 4 or 5 total times by the time I hit age 5 from catching pneumonia because I couldn't breathe. I just couldn't breathe outside. And so one day my mom went to the store, picked up Atari 2600, brought it home, set it down in front of me, and said, here, do this. Well, I don't know if that was the best thing that ever happened to me or the worst thing that ever happened to me, but I have been playing video games on a daily basis ever since. And I found that there were challenges inside even that old tiny machine with the processing power that my little pinky has. The challenges inside the games like Adventure. I couldn't believe that game. It's our very first RPG I ever played. You know, and then the Atari got replaced with an NES, the NES by a SNES, and you know, now PlayStation and Xbox, and of course, I got that all-powerful PC rig at home, and man, it's just been a passion because I find the real world challenging, and I love a challenge. YouTube is a challenge. Running a small business is a challenge. I love challenges. Well, there's nothing, I mean, that stuff is the real world. There's nothing like trying to figure out how to put your starship back together in No Man's Sky. There's nothing like trying to catch them all, every single poke in the world. It's, I don't know, the real world is fun, but the worlds that we imagine and create, that's what keeps drawing me back every single day. There are periods of time I didn't like this world very much. Well, I always had another one to escape to. And, you know, I mean, some people choose television. And television's a passive ability. You know, you watch other people's stories. You watch other people's things. Social media, that's another escape, you know. I don't know, social media is never challenging. What makes video games great is it's a challenge. Like, it keeps your mind fresh. And I'm turning into a very old man with gray in his beard. You know what that's like.
Yes, sir.
But I feel like I'm 12 years old and still to this day because I've challenged myself through strategy, through survival, through quick reflexes, stuff I could have never done in the real world because I couldn't go outside. And Galveston's like breathing a can of soup, man. I can't breathe here at all. Holy crap.
Look, man, I know as far as me in gaming, I know I probably like started and stopped my YouTube gaming channel about 30,000 times.
You filthy
I probably have another 30,000 in it. I do have another. Like I just started again the other week and stopped again so I can be out here and get CraveCon on and popping. And then when I get home, I'm gonna go back to gaming again for a few days and then do a couple more food reviews and then travel again and drop it again. But the thing is, ultimately, my passion is gaming. I love gaming. I mean, Atari 2600, ColecoVision. I still have an Atari 2600, a ColecoVision, a Nintendo. I have a PlayStation.
You're one of the rich kids that have those fancy machines.
Not me, man. But let me tell you, it's like nostalgic gaming, old school classic gaming. Dude, I don't know what it is for everybody else out there. And with today's gaming, of course, everything in technology is just so far advanced. But there's something about playing Pac-Man to this day that gets me excited.
Absolutely.
I really wish I could explain it. And so many out there will look so basic. And it is like, what's the letter C doing? Just snacking on this little square ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when you're playing the game and the logic behind it and trying to stop yourself from getting caught by the ghosts and get to those pack power pellets in time to get all the ghosts. You don't want to just eat one ghost. You want to hit all four of them. You want to make sure you get your extra life to pop up on screen. And you want it to happen before the first act pops up on screen. A lot of people like first act. That means you just don't know anything about Pac-Man.
Do you know
the
very first video game I ever played was Pac-Man? That's the very first video game I ever saw. It was in a little restaurant called Ma's Paws. And my brother took me in there to get ice cream. And I was used to pinball machines being over there. And now there's this brand new thing, video game. Never seen it before. I'd heard of them on television. I saw it, I put a quarter in it, and I sucked. I couldn't conclude the first board. I watched my brother play. He got to the second board. He did a great job. Tell him which ghost to get because I don't really understand the game. And you know they say video games influence the person you become. I don't know that that's true because if it was, the first video game I ever played was Pac-Man. And I mean, what would that make me? Round, eating all the time, being chased by ghosts in my past. Holy shit, you're right, I'm Pac-Man. Oh my god, I'm Pac-Man. Oh, sorry, okay. Sorry for I love that joke. I wrote that like 5 years ago. I'll do that every time I get every chance I get. But yeah, I'm Pac-Man. It's basically it. But I love the classic stuff. And I love, you know, like Nintendo is a company that's notorious for not liking YouTube very much and not being willing to work with YouTube very much. But, you know, the video games that I played this last console generation the most of, if it's not on my PC, you know, it's a Nintendo game. I've played Smash Bros. Yeah, Smash Bros. Set up over right now. I play Smash Bros. So much that I have that every move memorized. We've blocked maybe 300 hours. Super Mario Maker, one of the best games of my lifetime. When I played the original Super Mario Brothers, I said, if I could make my own levels on this, oh my God, the levels I would create, the levels I've designed, and I now have created them, and tens of thousands of people have played them, and they've starred them, and I log into my machine right now. What an awesome digital world that we live in. And I think about that all the time. Like, I love the complicated games too. I played, you know, a year's worth of EverQuest. I played 300 days worth of World of Warcraft. I love a complicated game, but that simplicity, that escapism, that just simple skill challenge, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the games that I come back to over and over and over again are the little more simplistic, but challenging. A little repetitive, but different every time you play it. And I think about, you know, Heroes of the Storm, or Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering. These are the games that just become part of who you are. You know, you can't stop thinking about those cards. You can't stop thinking about the strategies. You can't stop thinking about the way you build that stuff. But I don't know. Everybody likes a different type of game. I always try to remind people, like, you know, some people will say Call of Duty's a terrible game. I don't like Call of Duty. That's popular. It's garbage. It's trash. No, man. To a million some people every year, that is one of the best games out there. It's not for me. You know, well, I don't like Pac-Man. The game's trash. No, that's one of the best games I've ever played. For me, it's a wonderful game. Remember that. There's all kinds of different gamers. There's all kinds of different people. I make jokes about you being a filthy casual. It doesn't matter if you're casual. It doesn't matter if you're hardcore. It doesn't matter if you eat, breathe, and sleep video games. It doesn't matter if only thing you ever play is Clash of Clans once a week. Man, you're a gamer. We enjoy the hobby together. You enjoy it your way. I enjoy it mine. We enjoy it together. I love sharing that with the world. I love sharing that with you, man.
Definitely, brother. Let me ask you something. I want to get in gaming. I mean, I know you're talking to me, but like, you're talking to me as if I'm coming into it for the first time. So I'm asking you, I want to get into gaming. I don't know exactly what to do. I do know that I have a console at home. I didn't hit the PC master race. So I might have a PS4, I might have an Xbox One. How would I get into this gaming life of YouTube and or Twitch for that matter?
I always say, start on YouTube for anything these days. You want a review for a video game, you can go to YouTube to get it. You want to see somebody actually play that game, to see what that game is going to be like, start on YouTube. Pick a creator, pick somebody you like, watch what they're doing, watch what they're playing, find a game that you think is interesting. That's the one to buy. Simple as that, you know? Start watching Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, whoever you like to watch. Even if it's PewDiePie, I don't have nothing wrong with watching PewDiePie. I watch Mr. PewDiePie. Watch whoever your favorite creator is. Maybe it's Total Biscuit or Jim Sterling. Maybe you're looking for somebody who's a little more hardcore and is going to give you a much consumer advocate stance. Or maybe somebody's going to play and have fun. Start on YouTube. Find the games that you love. That's the one you go out and buy and dig into, right? That's always the way to do it.
Now I'm shy. I mean, you know, I don't really talk to anybody. I like to keep to myself. You know, I finally get my channel started. I don't know what to say. Is it okay if I just play the game and upload footage of me just playing the game and never say a word?
Actually, that's a very successful niche on the internet. And whereas it's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes the companies hate that. Because, you know, if you show the full cutscene, you're kind of spoiling the game. It's not very transformative. But if you're showing face cam and you're reacting to the game and you show yourself excited when you see something new, you see something, basically even you don't know what to say, just play and have fun, man, you know? And Twitch, especially Twitch, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, just get up there and play the game. If you don't want your voice, you don't want your face on it, just stream the game, man. People will watch it, they'll love that. There's people that prefer exactly that. They're not there for the personality, they're there for the game. And that's the purest form of it, right? You know, you're not even interjecting yourself. This is just me playing Diablo. It's not me playing Diablo, it's just Diablo. Let's go watch some Diablo get played.
Wow, that's crazy. So now, I've been playing for a while, and I heard about this whole entire PAX thing and this TwitchCon. I mean, should I really attend? Do I need to be there?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, like shows like E3, which I've never attended to this day, I've been told, are too commercial, they're too, right? Like it's all about the new releases, there's not a lot to play and not a lot to do. I think some of the stuff like the smaller cons, that's where you want to go, right? Like Retropalooza, I'm part of that in a couple of months, man. If you like the retro games, it's the place to go. You can buy a copy of Zelda, the original for NES, the gold cartridge, fresh in the pack if you want. Like, for the most part, man, I think the smaller cons are the ones where you can really interact, you can really play the games. I've been to the PlayStation Experience, never been to PAX, and I'm doing just fine, man. I haven't been to most of it, and I'm doing just fine. So I don't think you have to be there, but man, there's a lot of pleasure to be had, for sure. I will tell you, it sucks to wait in line for 2 hours to play a video game for 15 minutes. I stood in line to play The Order 1886, which turned out to be not the greatest game, but I stood in line for 2 hours. And that was with me cutting. They let me cut because, oh, you're important, Boogie. They let me cut to play the demo. And after 2 hours of waiting, I played for 15 minutes. I'm like, that's kind of a waste of a day. I could be playing video games. At least I had my 3DS with me. I'm playing Pokémon online.
Pokémon Go is where it's at.
Yeah, do what? Oh, shit, sorry. Hold on. Guys, there's an Onyx.
That's love right there. That's love, you know.
No, love would have been
play
if she
Pokemon Go together.
Love would have been if she came up here and got my phone and caught it for me. That would have been love.
That would be real love right there.
Oh, that's true. I do already. I hashed one out of there. So who's playing Pokemon Go, by the way? Who's real mad at the company for disabling tracking? I know, isn't it the worst, man? And it still don't keep me from playing. They can't stop me. I don't know, I'm addicted. I'm the worst. You call it? Ah! It's not. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Live at CraveCon 2016, the very first CraveCon. I'm gonna catch an Onyx. Woo! Here we go. Oh, it's the CP33. Oh my God, he's tiny. That's not the first time I've seen something long and tiny.
That's that way sometimes.
Did I say that out loud?
What am I? They probably didn't hear you, but they heard it.
Got him! That's a real game, live game. CraveCon 2016.
All day, every day. Hey, let me ask you something. So I'm gaming for a while, right?
All right.
And I'm doing all right. My channel's growing, and I built up enough courage, though I was shy before, but I've been gaming for so long, I'm just like, I'm ready. I think I'm ready to do my first collab. How do I reach out to collab with another gamer?
Oh, easiest thing in the world. I mean, find a game, somebody who plays the game that you love, find somebody with the same number of subscribers as you, reach out to them and say hello, and use that social media, hit them up, and I mean, there's nothing in the world like playing another game with somebody you care about, right? It's the best, and you never know, the next thing you know, you're going to be best friends with that person, you're going to collaborate with, you're starting a channel together, and now you're the Game Grumps.
There it is, there it is. Well, you know what? I think now I've asked all the questions that I can ask as a growing gamer in the community. I feel like I'm ready to go ahead and make it happen.
Oh yeah.
Who out there has any questions about gaming for Boogie?
Before we answer questions, let me tell you this. Who here is interested in doing YouTube? That's one of the things I always like to hear, okay? All right, so the people who are starting out on YouTube, here's what I want to say for you, especially in the gaming sphere. You got to ask yourself, what I do is very different, right? Like what I do on Twitch, if you've ever seen one of my Twitch streams, that shit gets weird. And what I do on YouTube is very different. The way I critique games, the way I talk about games, the way I approach the topics, the way I treat phrases. So I try to do something different. And that's the thing I always tell anybody, especially in the very saturated gaming market on YouTube. To figure out what you do different. Figure out what you will do better, right? Like everybody wants to be the next Markiplier. The problem is, there's only one Markiplier. You'll never be the next Markiplier. You'll be the next you, though. So what are you bringing to the table? What are you going to do that's different that nobody else can do? Or if you are going to do something that other people are doing, you got to do it better than them. You got to out-Markiplier Markiplier if you want to be Markiplier. But if you can figure out what you bring to the table, and maybe that's just, maybe you're one of the best players of League of Legends in the world. All right, so then people are going to watch you for that. Maybe you're just real funny, and so you're just going to make comedy videos like Sky Williams or Ducky. Or maybe you are a consumer advocate, and you are very cynical, so you become the next Total Biscuit, you know, your version of it. But whatever it is, you got to identify, and this is true for any sphere, the food sphere, the gaming sphere, whatever you want to do, figure out what you do that nobody else does. Turned out for me, that was mostly just eating too many sandwiches before I started YouTube, being fat and learning how to list. But I mean, that's it. That's really it. That's how you stand out. Figure out what nobody else is doing and fill that hole, fill that niche. You know? So, questions? Who's got questions, buddy? Right there.
I got you, I got you.
Got it? You could just scream if you want to.
I have a loud voice. It's probably Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
I can hear you.
Let's
How
hear
do
it.
you feel about G2A, like websites like G2A where you get games discounted because...
I have no problem with G2A, with the exception of the fact that they're often selling what they call what is gray keys, like keys that may be auto-generated or keys that are not legitimate. Like anytime you're ripping off a developer, I think that's the worst thing in the world. Like there was a period of time in my life, 20 years ago, I couldn't afford a video game, and maybe I torn into one or two. Maybe there was a period of time in my life where I torn into the game as a try before I buy kind of thing, because they didn't do a demo. But I've regretted it ever since, man. I see how, now that I'm on the part of YouTube that I am, and I have connections with people at Microsoft and at Sony and at EA and at Rockstar and at all these different companies, I see how hard these guys work and how many people that are employed to create these games. You know, No Man's Sky was made with a small team of 20 people, but Star Wars Battlefront, which I mean I had to slay him because it wasn't well done, had hundreds of people working on that game. And you got to keep that in mind. Like you're keeping a company open that hires a lot of people. So for me to save $10 and know that the developer may get nothing, I'm gonna spend the extra $10. That's me, you know. I'm gonna reward the developers as best I can. If I can't afford it at $60, I'll wait till it goes on sale, you know, on Steam. I know that every game's gonna go on sale on Steam eventually. Maybe I have to wait a month to get it, but I'll wait that month to save that $20. But when it comes to like the black market keys like that, or when a developer's not being supported for their hard work, I just can't endorse it, you know. And I would rather never risk it personally, you know. Well, good question. All the way to the
Any
back.
more questions in the back?
Right there behind you, Dan.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we all know YouTube is a great platform to get onto with gaming and get your name out there. But what do you think about like live streaming, like on Periscope or Facebook Live, via gaming?
I think it's kind of a brand new, untouched territory. And to be honest with you, I would ask you if you tried it, and if you tried it, what your results have been. Because I'll be honest with you, that you may strike it rich there. That might be something nobody's doing, and you could be the first one doing it. I've never seen somebody stream a video game on Facebook. Maybe you would be the first, and maybe you would become a sensation overnight. And that's the kind of out-of-the-box thinking that works. But I will also say that when it comes to social media, like I have a theory, I just try to put it the best way I can. Whenever you're creating a YouTube network, whenever you're creating a social media presence, don't ever think of it like as a pinpoint. I am a Facebook streamer. That's not the thing you are. You want to use social media in its entirety. You want to be on Twitter, you want to be on Facebook, you want to be on Instagram, you want to be on YouTube, you want to be on Twitch, you want to do it all. So if you have that many different streams of people to come in from, and you have a central hub, whatever you make your central hub, for me it's YouTube, might be Facebook for you, might be whatever it is, but whatever that central hub will be, have all of those different social medias funneling into each other, but also funneling into the final source, like the final home base. And so, I mean, yeah, try everything. Try literally everything. Do everything once. If it works, do it again until it stops. You know? Yeah, I'd like to do it, and I will watch you. I will be so excited to watch you stream there.
All right, sweet. Thank you. Appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah, of course. How about right up here?
All right, on my way.
I'm gonna get you some exercise today.
So right, I'm all about that life. With a burger. Are we at?
As a female gamer, a lot of men usually tend to think of us as either not real gamers or we're just playing worse than men. So do you have any advice for a female gamer who wants to make it big on YouTube?
Oh, I got a bunch of advice. Number one, when I was growing up, there were no girls playing video games, and if they did, they played in secret because people are assholes. And I tell you, it sucked. It sucked. And now my wife lets us play video games just as much as I do, and I see you young girls playing video games, and it's the most exciting thing in the world. And I think about how lucky the men in this audience are that they could fall in love with a girl over a game of League of Legends. What a wonderful, wonderful world we live in. And I think to myself that I don't understand why anybody would push a nice, young, smart, intelligent, beautiful gaming girl away from video games. Why would you ever push? I would pull. When my wife showed interest in video games, I begged her to play. I put new games in front of her. What do you think about this? What do you think of that? When she found a game she enjoyed, I encouraged her. That's the attitude we should be having. Let's play some games. Let's have some fun. Gaming isn't for a gender. Gaming isn't for a sexual preference. Gaming isn't for anything other than all living creatures. Like, hell yeah. So, adopt that attitude. You're not any different than anybody else. We're all dancing organic matter. It doesn't matter. And if somebody disagrees with you, if they think you're worse, if they think you're different, or you think they're wrong, prove them wrong by ignoring that stuff. Let it, you know, I'll never know what it's like to be a woman. It's not something that's possible for me to understand. But what I can say is I can relate. I can relate because people look at my body and they initially make a judgment the same way they look at your body and make a judgment. And generally that judgment is very negative towards me. And I have to overcome that every day on YouTube by being a positive role model, by being a positive person, by responding to their negativity with positivity. And that works. And you'd be surprised. Not only can you change their opinion about you, but you can change their opinion about your gender, about the people you play with, that everybody you know and love. And so my first bit of advice is ignore the people that disagree with you, focus on the people that agree with you. Ignore the people who hate you, focus on the people that love you. That's the right way to live your life. I promise you that's the key to a happy life. It's also key to succeeding on YouTube. Number two, prove them wrong. Be the best you that you can be. And prove that you're just as good at games, you're just as good at YouTube, you're just as good as anybody else. If they don't like it, they're just going to turn a blind eye and walk away, right? And number three, just don't be afraid. Don't let these terrible, awful, angry, jealous people take away something you love or keep you from doing something you want to do. just because they're jealous, just because they don't understand, just because they're stupid. Don't ever let anybody take something like that away from you. You know, and quantifiably, objectively, they're wrong. We're awesome. I don't even know you. I guarantee you, you're awesome. So don't let anybody tell you any different. I'm sorry that people suck, by the way. I know they do. Some people do suck. But this room is filled with a lot of people who don't. So I'll focus on these people before anybody else.
Boogie, what would you say is your most disappointing game you've ever personally experienced, and why was it disappointing?
There's been some real stinkers. Oh boy. I mean, even way back to, just like Hide-A-Lide on NES, man, like one of the worst, like the original Ghostbusters movie tie-in game, my God. It was like eating poop with a spoon. But the worst disappointment, not necessarily worst game because it worked, it functioned. The biggest disappointment, the Dungeon Keeper mobile game that EA put out. Because I am a huge Dungeon Keeper fan. I played the first and the second Dungeon Keeper religiously. The end of Dungeon Keeper 2 says, keep an eye out for Dungeon Keeper 3 in stores soon. 20 years later, I finally get Dungeon Keeper 3, and it's a mobile app that you mine a piece of rock, which would normally take 3 seconds in the game, and it takes 24 hours, or $2.99. That was the most disappointing moment of my life, because I finally realized they will never make a true Dungeon Keeper 3. My dream is dead. Yeah. Who else?
What's your Pokemon Go team, and why'd you choose it?
Oh, well, number one, I've been mostly focusing on what limited things I've been able to catch. Because I can't walk so good, so I can't catch too terribly much. But right now, I'm rocking a couple Snorlaxes. That should be no surprise. One named Boogie2988, one named Francis, because I am a narcissist. And let's see. I'm rocking a couple of, my Executor, because for some reason our house was an Execute spawning ground for a really long time. Then we got my Flareon, my Vaporeon, and my, Voltron, Volt, what are they called? The electric Eevee, Jolteon, thank you. And that's my team, and they're doing all right. We took over the Rainforest Cafe last night and held it for about 20 minutes. Pretty happy with that. Oh, by the way, can we talk teams real quick? Who here is on Team Valor? And who here is wrong because they're not on Team Valor?
Yeah.
Red or dead, baby.
Woo!
Never die.
Who else? Anybody else?
My entire family is Mystic.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And nobody here is Instinct, though, right? Big Bird. Everybody loves Big Bird. You know my Pokemon mobile app, the TCGO mobile app, which is really good, by the way. It's a Zapdos deck. He's really good in the game, and he's like in a couple of promo decks, so it's like super easy to get a hold of the card. Yeah, when I'm running Zapdos. He's really good. Actually, to be honest with you, and this is what a trader I am. I'm sorry, Team Valor, but if you quantify, like if you do run the numbers, okay, Team Mystic's bird is weak to water, right? Then Team Mystic's bird, sorry, the water bird is weak to grass. What is in this game? What is the electric bird weak to? Nothing. He has the least amount of weaknesses in the app. He's the best bird. So why is Team Instinct behind? I don't understand. That should have been the team everybody took. No, it's all red or dead, baby. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Our bird kind of sucks, but I'm okay with it. Any questions? Anybody else?
Got one over here.
North Carolina, what's up, man?
So, in probably the past few years, we've seen a huge trend in gaming towards virtual reality and mobile gaming. do you think the evolution of gaming has been positive so far? And what do you see games becoming in the future? More virtual reality entirely? Or do you think we'll still have the stationary setup, that we have now? And do you think that's positive?
Okay, so first off, let's talk about virtual reality. I get a lot to say about virtual reality, so let's get right into it. But I will not forget the question, okay? But I probably will. Who here is not interested in virtual reality? Who here thinks it's a dead thing? All right, have you tried it yet? My question is, if you don't like it, have you tried it yet? Go to your local Best Buy, put on a PSVR and try it. I will tell you that I was not excited until I tried it. I tried it for the first time in 1994. When they put a 50-pound headset on me, strapped it to me, and had 2 CRT monitors in the back of it, and I had to brace myself into it to make it work. And I thought, man, one day this technology will be good. That day was about a year ago. The technology is real good. I think a lot of it has to do with the controllers that you're using. So I don't much, I have an Oculus Gear that works with my phone. It's okay. You can play with the controller, you can play with the little handset and thing on the side. I also have the Oculus Rift. I had a dev kit. Unfortunately, YouTube allows me to do this. By watching my videos, allows me to afford these things. Thank you for that, by the way. But that said, I had the dev kit. The dev kit was okay. Then I got the release version of the Rift, and the release version of the Rift it's okay. The HTC Vive is like sex. No, it is amazing. Oh my God, I would rather be playing games on my Vive than I would anything else. There's not a lot of killer apps out though. Most of what's up there is kind of short demos. So once you played all the short demos, there's not much to do, right? But the technology is sound and it's awesome. The problem is, it's expensive to create virtual reality products, and it's for a very small market. So what really matters is whether or not the games are going to be there. I think there's always going to be games that focus on mouse and keyboard. I think there's always going to be games that focus on a basic controller and one screen, the way we have it set up. And I think that's always going to be the lion's share of the market for the foreseeable future, next 15, 20 years. I think virtual reality is a niche market right now until it gets its killer app. And when it does, I think people are going to go insane because the technology is incredible. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite experiences, my mother-in-law came to my house this summer. She stayed for a week, and we encouraged her to try virtual reality. She's 50-something. I don't want to spoil her age in case she ever sees this, but she plays a game called Audio Surf. Anybody here heard of this game? It's a twitchy kind of like a music rhythm game in which you have 2 shields, and the game auto-generates orbs that fly at you based in time of the music, and you use the shields to block the different colored orbs. One arm is one color, the other arm is the other. And whatever song you want to listen to, it'll generate orbs based on the beats inside of the music. It's made by the guys that made Audio Surf, which does something similar. She played one song, and I thought that would be it. Nope, she played a second, and then a third, then a fourth, then a fifth, covered in sweat. She takes off the mask and says, "My God, I could have never imagined such a thing." And she's just smiling from ear to ear. Like it's incredible. It's incredible. That's the future. But to directly answer your question, I don't know how big the market will be because I don't know who. Cost is prohibitive. The number of games is prohibitive. The cost to develop the games is prohibitive. But I encourage you to embrace it because it's a sound technology and it's super fun. And if you embrace it, I'll get more video games to play. So please do. But yeah, virtual reality is great. And if you don't think you're interested in it, try it. Everyone I've ever known who said, "I don't really care," and they came over to my house to try the headset, they cared. I think it's only going to get cheaper. I think it's only going to get more accessible. And I think it's going to take 2 or 3 years to really impact. But I hope it doesn't. It's not a Kinect. Let me say that. It's not the Kinect. It's not PlayStation Move. It's not a piece of junk. It actually works. And it's amazing when it does. Thank you. Who else?
All right, got you over here. I got you. I see you over there, man.
So what are your thoughts on first-person shooters? Because I know Dane's big into them. I'm pretty into them. I know it's a pretty big market out there. So like Halo and COD and all that stuff.
For me, I love Halo. I've been playing Halo since it was brand new. I mean, I played with one of my friends, giant Xbox split screen every Saturday night for a long time. Halo 2 is probably my favorite Halo by a lot. Master Chief Collection, I only was excited for it before Halo 2, and then that game came out broken. One of the most disappointing things that ever happened. Call of Duty, never really been my game. It's pretty repetitious and kind of simplistic to me. More of a Battlefield guy. I like tanks, I like vehicles, I like doing weird stuff. But to me, the shooters that really get me interested are the ones that do really crazy stuff. So Team Fortress 2 was my game shooter of choice for a while. Left 4 Dead was my choice for a while. Now it's Overwatch, and I know Overwatch is overhyped, I get that, but at the same time, that is the wackiest first-person shooter I've ever played in my life, and I simply cannot get enough of it. And on the surface, the game looks simplistic. It's got a nice roster and some decent maps, and it stole its gold system from Team Fortress 2. But I played that game now for over 150 hours, and I continue to find depth. There's depth in the way multiple characters on the same team work together. There's depth in how facing another character can work. There's depth on how to use your ultimate, and how to use your other abilities, figuring out where to be on the map and how to hide. Absolutely incredible game. But I love first-person shooters, and I know they're the thing that everybody likes to make fun of because it's the most popular thing in the world. There's a reason it's the most popular thing in the world, because it simulates one of the most cool things to do, which is to play, ultimately, laser tag. I can't play laser tag, but I can play Call of Duty. So,
got my man right up over here.
This question is actually both for Dame and yourself.
nice.
We're gonna get to see you guys play Super Smash Brothers over there sometime today.
Are you good at Smash?
I want
Which
to see
Smash?
who's gonna win that battle.
Which Smash is over there? Is it the Wii U Smash? Is that the
It's the
one?
Wii U, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna destroy you, man. You're gonna get wrecked.
You don't want any of this business.
Oh, who's your main? Who's your main?
I'll let you choose it.
Oh my God! I'm gonna get my ass beat. I'm not even that good at that game. I was all talk. Oh my God!
We have any more questions out there? I'll catch you over there and I'll catch you in the back.
Meantime, let's give him some walking music.
Are you at all offended that some of us use ad block when we watch your videos?
Absolutely not. I always consider my content to be crowdsourced, right? So people who have can give, the people who don't won't. It's as simple as that. I'm just glad you're watching it all. Even if you watch with ad block, if you drop a like on a video, you're doing me a favor. If you drop a comment on my video, you're doing me a favor. If you share the video, you're doing me an even bigger favor. That's all way more important than the 0.03 cents I would have got if you sat through an advertisement. You know, at the end of the day, I don't do this for money. The money's there, and I do it for a job, and it does keep the lights on, and it does pay the mortgage. But I do this because I like to entertain people, and I don't care how I'm entertaining you. And that's why I do Twitch, for example, because people can make donations on there. Those people have will give, those who can't won't, and that's fine. I'm in the business of not making money. That's a side product of what I do. I'm in the business of making people laugh. I'm in the business of making people think. I'm in the business of saving people money by reviewing video games that suck and telling them to stay away, and promoting video games that are good and helping them move in that right direction. And you'll find a way to give. You know, and it doesn't have to be set through another Geico ad. God, I'm tired of Geico ads. I pay for YouTube Red, so I don't have to set through Geico ads. You know, and I'll admit, I also use AdBlock. I do whitelist certain websites like Twitch and YouTube. I'll watch an ad there because I know it's the only way those websites stay open. But I mean, I think it's foolish to not use AdBlock. Go home, install it, and use the whitelist on the websites that creators like. You don't even have to do that. You know. It's as long as you're there, as long as you're watching, that's the most valuable thing you can do, is just participate in the process. That's all that matters, and I appreciate you for doing it. Woo! Yeah!
All right, so I have one question in 3 parts. Part 1, have you played No Man's Sky? 2, will we see you stream it? And 3, what are your thoughts on it if you have?
All right, so No Man's Sky is an amazingly curious case of overhype. That game, a lot of people don't really know the history, but basically
Sean Murray put together a trailer for that, shipped it off to Jeff Keighley, who showed it off at the Game Awards 3 years ago. And that trailer basically showed nothing. It showed a spaceship, it showed a planet, it showed an alien life form, it showed some space. Boom, that's it. We were given no idea what the game was going to be. We were left to fill it in with our own imagination. And boy, did we. Now what the game actually is, it's Minecraft in space with some survival elements, with some choose your own adventure elements, and that's it. If you play the demo, you've played that game for 20 minutes, then you've played the entirety of the game. It goes on like that for 30 hours. There's a couple of quests to solve, there's a couple of new things to discover, it's all procedurally generated. You're going to start the game by mining iron, you're going to finish the game by mining iron, that's the experience. It sucks that it got overhyped, because what is there is super fun, if you like that thing. A game that is a procedurally generated Minecraft-esque survival game with choose your own adventure elements in it. If that's you, then this game is amazing, and that is me. PC version of it is horribly broken. Please do not purchase it. Give them a few weeks to patch it. And if you do purchase it, don't feel afraid to refund it on Steam. And buy it directly through Steam. Highly recommend it, so that you can refund it. PS4 version looks okay and runs okay. But I gotta say that I streamed it every night this week to a giant audience on PlayStation 4, and they have loved it. I think in part because I'm just so blown away by that. And you gotta remember, the video game I started by mentioning today, Atari 2600, the game Adventure, right? Or Asteroids in the Atari 2600. I think that that's my base point. So a game like this is completely insane to procedurally generate these planets and to procedurally generate these life forms and to challenge me by, I landed, here's my favorite story for the game right now. Earlier this week on the stream, I landed on a planet that had no flora, no fauna, no animals, no plants. It was a radiated planet to the point that my suit couldn't keep up with it, and it was a frozen planet, so it was also so cold that my suit